Okay. What's up, guys? Hello, everyone. Okay, let's do this. Let's look at the markets pre-NFP. Okay, I see we've got a couple of people joining. All right. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Let's see, who do we have here? Let's see. So we've got Elson, Rocks Race FX. How's it going? We've got Ordinary Romeo over there. We've got Mark Batisani, okay. We've got Paris Jonathan, we've got Pablo, Puma Junior Makuya, we've got Raj, we've got Squatza. We've got a lot of people joining. Okay, cool. All right, guys, so the reason why I'm doing this live is so we can look at the markets pre-NFP. For those of you who don't know what NFP is, it's a non-farm payroll. One of the biggest events on the market, one of the market movers, one of the biggest market movers, so to speak. Okay, so basically, for those of you that already know, I trade the market maker method, right? And what that is basically the entire Forex game. Okay, so I'm pretty confident in saying that this is exactly how the market moves. Of course, we've got a lot of strategies on the market, but I'm pretty confident in saying that the market maker method is the actual way in which the market is traded. So if anyone wants to dispute that, go ahead, but I'll stick to my guns. Okay, so let's see. I think I'll have you guys suggest a pair to look at, and then we'll go to that pair. You guys suggest a pair to look at, and then we'll go to that pair, preferably US pairs. Okay, let's do dollar pairs because it's NFP, so it's mostly going to move dollar pairs, but of course, you know, a lot of the other markets do get affected, but I primarily like to look at dollar pairs during NFP. So let's get the show on the road. Okay, we've got two suggestions for gold. Okay, so let's go to gold. Let's check out gold. Okay, so I've got a bit of stuff going on gold here. Let's just remove all of that. Okay, so this is gold, right? So what I have on screen here is a couple of EMAs, exponential moving averages. I've got my 13, 50, and the 200 EMA. All right, so what I like to do first of all is to look at what price we're looking at, right? So a lot of you know about price action, and a lot of you think that price action has to do with candlesticks, of which for me, I say price action, since it says price, we have to be looking at what? The price, okay? So when I look at price, I like to look at whole numbers primarily, right? Let me add a whole number where I see a potential zone of movement, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a horizontal line, right? I'm going to add a horizontal line, and then I'm going to put a specific price coordinate. So what I see is the 1700 level, right? So there we have it, 1700. So we recently saw gold pushing below 1700. Let me just increase this a little bit. So we recently saw gold pushing below 1700. Now, for me, that's it's pretty amazing. Just before NFP, us being able to see gold pushing to 1700 just before NFP, right? And what that suggests to me is that we might see some buying pressure on gold today, right, through NFP. This is an hourly chart. Maybe let's go to H4, right? So this is the H4 chart. Not really much to see, but we see a whole lot of selling pressure on gold, and we know that in any uncertain market, gold should always be a buy, right? So what we're going to look at here, we're going to look at specific zones where people expected gold to buy, I know a couple of people were buying gold. I mean, we even had a position on gold yesterday. We had a buy on gold. We managed to close 70 pips on gold. So it wasn't a bad trade at all, right? So I'm just going to mark out these zones here. You know how people like to do support and resistance. Well, I'm not really a support and resistance trader. I don't believe in SNR, right? I believe in market maker movement. Okay, so basically when gold came into this zone, we actually expected a head and shoulders type movement, right? Let me just put that on here. Okay, so when gold got into this zone here, this is what I was looking at personally, right? I was seeing a left shoulder, then obviously the head, and then I saw a potential right shoulder, and my expectation was for gold to start to buy, right? Of course, I was proven wrong because we broke through that zone. If you see gold started trading below the right shoulder zone, if you see there's a lot of wicks to the top side, right? Now wicks, for those of you that don't know, wicks are the tails, right? The little black lines above and below the candlestick bodies, those are called wicks, right? So if you see how the wicks started pointing to the upside, mainly, of course we do have wicks to the downside, we had a lot of whipsaw movement in here, right? Now I know people were confused as to how gold will go, and I know that we have a couple of breakout traders. You know, people get validated in so many ways. They break out, they retrace, breakout, retrace, breakout, retrace, and then you've got so many tails that you don't really know where the market is going. So now if you look at my 13 EMA, the market is trading right below the 13 EMA, right? And basically this touch at the 13 on an H4 time frame, this touch at the 13 and close below suggests that gold is still going to be bearish, right? What I like about the 13 EMA is that as soon as it gets close to the market or where the market is trading at, we expect some type of switch or change in momentum, right? And now because gold is now at a well, it did cross below a whole number, 1700 level, like I said before. This red dotted line is our 1700 level. Now, just because we crossed below that point does not mean that we are completely selling off gold, right? What I actually expect today is to see some buying pressure on gold. Of course, I don't really have a clear setup here, right? For those that want to, I know some people would say this looks like a possible inverted head and shoulders, right? You have your left shoulder, then you've got your head, and then you've got a potential right shoulder, right? That could be the case, right? That could be the case, but I'm not so keen on this type of outlook. But I am expecting that the dollar will be probably, if the dollar does become negative, that will just be them completing the run on a, sorry, if the dollar is positive, that'll be them completing the run on a bullish dollar, meaning that gold might just spike down during NFP, and then we might just see them start to buy back up. If you notice, I think this price, the last time we visited such a low price on gold, let's go to H4. The last time we were at this level, when would that have been? Let's just see. The last time gold was at such a level, okay, let me go to daily chart. Okay, so the last time we were in this zone was in January 2020, I think. That's the last time we were around the 1700 level, January 2020, I think, right? So this is a very, very tricky place to be now, because I know the market makers are looking at everybody and saying, okay, so we were last at this point in January 2020. Now it's 2021, we're in March, and gold is at that zone. So this is actually pre-COVID levels. This is a pre-COVID level, right? January 2020, before the COVID started. And during COVID, the gold just did rally, right? During the entire run on COVID, gold rallied. Now, if you notice that in an uncertain market, gold is bullish mainly, right? And basically with COVID happening, the market was probably uncertain. So what I expect today is that before we can even start buying gold, this is now, I'm going back to H1, before we can start buying gold, I advise everybody to be very, very, very careful, right? Be very careful of possible stop hunts to the downside. I do think that gold will buy today. If not today, maybe from next week. I do expect gold to buy, but you need to be very, very careful with the stop hunts, okay? So I do expect gold to start buying at some point. If it's going to be today, it's probably going to be through the NFP release, which means that we'll have a possible negative dollar, and then that will push gold to the upside. So I have certain rules before I take an entry, right? Certain rules before I take an entry, and those rules have not yet been validated. If they do get validated before NFP, what I will do is wait till after NFP in order for us to buy gold. But I am looking at a bullish gold from, if it does do it today, then I'm looking for buys on gold from today going forward. This is a very important level, 1700. I'll say that again, 1700 is a very important level, right? 1700. And if we do get our validation, I will be taking longs on gold from possibly today. But if I don't get validated, then I will not be taking any buys on gold. All right, let me see. What else do we have? What else do we have? We have any suggestions? We've got Euro USD. Okay, let's look at the Euro dollar. Right, just give me a second. Euro dollar. Euro USD. Let's see, what do we have on the Euro dollar? Okay, so Euro dollar, I am looking at a possible zone around 1.19, the 1.1900 level. Let me just mark that out real quick. So guys, what I normally like to do is to look at the zones in which I am in, right? Certain market prices, right, that are very significant in the market. So I look at whole numbers, right? Because market makers like to play around whole numbers. So you guys need to be extremely careful when you're trading around whole numbers, right? Whole numbers. So this is the 1900 level, this red line, right? 1.19000. You have a million zeros after that anyway. But so looking at Euro USD, we've had a lot of selling pressure, right? Now what I do is I look at peaks, right? So this was a previous peak, right? And now I'm not going to go deep into the strategy. A lot of you know the market maker strategy, but many of you don't really know how to trade the market maker way or trade correctly how the market makers trade. So we've got a peak over there. If you look closely, we have a M peak, right? Sort of an M formation right there. So it's a pre-formation high, and then we had a drop, right? So let's do this. Let me mark it out how I would mark it out looking at the market maker method. So basically we've got that peak over there. So what I like to do is I like to look at zones where the 13 EMA was crossed again, right? So I'll mark this out as a second level. So we've got the M peak, we've got the level 1 short, right? Level 1 short, the sell on level 1. And then we had a bit of retracement. Then we had a possible touch. So I was expecting an ID 50. I'm going to throw out random terms. So I'm not going to explain what the terms are. If you want all that information, then you have to come to mentorship to get all of that. So we had a short, level 1 short. And then we had a retracement. And then looking at this zone here from this point where we touched the 200 EMA, the black line. So this was a level 2 bounce short, right? So now this is level 1. The first block is level 1. And then from this bounce here, I'm looking at a level 2 short. So let me remove this. Now a bounce level 2, basically I start looking at the movement from here, from the bottom of this box right here, right? So now that was the bounce for level 2. And if you notice, we have a couple of stop hunts here, and look how they touch the 200 EMA and then they close below. Look at how they spike it 3 times. One with this candle, then they close below. They spike it again with this candle, they close below. And look at how the third candle basically opens right at the top there, touches right above the 200 EMA, and then they close below, and then the shorts start to come back in. So this is now my level 2 short, right? So if I'm in level 2 short, I'm expecting a third level short. Now, for those of you that don't know, right, there's a lot of patterns that are presented in the market. Some people like to call it the 3 drives pattern. Some call it the 3 bearish pushes, 3 bullish pushes, whatever it is. I don't really concern myself with what they call those things. All I know is how to trade based on the market maker movement and how the market makers trade, right? So basically, what I expect now is that if we're in level 2, now what NFP could possibly do with the euro dollar is we can possibly see something like a negative dollar, right? That'll push euro dollar up, and then possibly after all that it has happened, we will probably see a continuation to the downside that will now give us a level 3 to the downside, right? So this is level 1, right? Then now we've got a level 2 push, and then now I'm expecting a level 3 to the downside. So NFP could do 2 possible things. We could see NFP just crash right through these zones, right? It doesn't have to really go to the upside. So NFP could just push the euro dollar down, meaning that's a bullish NFP. But if it's a bearish NFP, we'll probably see what we call a retracement. So people like to call these as retracements and what have you, right? But what I normally like to look at it as the basic stop hunt to the upside, and then we will see a bearish push. Now let me validate some people's strategies, right? So normally I know people like to say that we've got strategies that basically say we've got an impulse, right? So they'll say impulse, and then we've got a correction, and then an impulse again, right? So what I will do now is let me take this impulse move right here, right? And then I'm going to add it here. So now we've got impulse, correction, and then they normally say the second impulse or the third impulse, or whichever impulse it is, the one that follows will probably be the same length as the previous impulse move, right? So we've got an impulse, correction, impulse, right? Now, according to the market makers, we have what we call ADR, right? Average daily range, right? Now, the ADR of a certain pair is normally what happens is when you have an average daily range, right? The impulse will be, let's say, 100 pips, right? Let's just say 100 pip movement to the downside, and then they correct. They do that correction there. I expect that the second impulse will probably be another 100 pips, which is in line with impulse, correction, impulse, which basically means that the impulse will be, let's say, a certain 100 pips, and then the correction, and then we have another impulse which is equal to another 100 pips. And then if you notice, when I talked about the third level, right, we'll probably have a correction to the upside, maybe a correction to the upside, and then we will have another impulse to the downside. That will probably be another 100 pip move, right? So according to the market makers, the ADR times 3, right? If you notice, I'm using the number 3 quite a lot, is because the market is psychological, right? The Forex market is extremely psychological. So it's like this: when we have let me go back to the chart. When we have a push to the downside, a lot of people would have missed the initial push, right? From the upside to the downside. They would have missed the initial push, right? And then when we have a correction and then they push the market again, which we have this second push here, somebody will be thinking to themselves, oh my goodness, I missed it the second time and it's moving. And then when they correct and then they go down the third time, somebody will be like, okay, euro dollar is very bearish. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to start selling it. And when you start to sell it, guess what? The movement is done and the market is going to start to rally. It's going to start to go back up, right? So the time when a lot of you are going to start to probably sell the euro dollar, it's probably going to start moving back up and you're now stuck in a zone. You're probably going to be stuck in a bearish move, whereas the market is going up, and your stop loss is probably going to get hit. And I know most of you have stop losses ranging between 20 and 50 pips, and that's probably going to get taken out very, very quickly, and you're going to be stuck in a bearish move. So for the dollar, 2 scenarios: we've got a possible stop hunt to the high during NFP, and then it'll probably continue back down, right? So I expect the euro dollar to continue selling. So we will start to see buys of the euro dollar maybe from next week moving forward. So at this moment, euro dollar I think is still very bearish. For NFP today, the scenario that I'm expecting is a negative dollar, which will inevitably push euro dollar up, and then we have a possible continuation to the downside. So no matter what you do at this point, I just think that the euro dollar is still gonna be a whole lot bearish, right? I don't do support and resistance like I said before, so please don't ask me about support levels or resistance levels on certain charts, right? Let me see, what else do we have? A couple of suggestions. We have euro dollar. Let's see, who am I going to take? Let's see. I think I'm going to go to GBP USD, okay? Now, my GU is a very nice pair to trade. I love GBP USD. Most of you who've traded with me know that I love GBP USD quite a lot. As you already see, I have my analysis on GBP USD. I'm busy moving on it, right? So what we have here is a peak formation at the top, right? This M structure here, that's a peak formation, right? A reversal of the trend. Now, I just want to give you guys a little bit of insight on how GBP USD goes. Let me switch to my MT4, right? Let me just switch to my MT4 real quick. Okay, so I actually had GBP USD marked out here, right? So here we have a reset, right? I'm not going to go into the details of the reset and how it came about, but we have we've got a reset on GBP USD, right? Look at this huge W formation or pattern right here, right? As you see here, GBP USD touched the lows, right? It hit the lows, it rallied a bit, and then came back and spiked the lows once again, creating a sort of a W pattern, right? And then we had a rally, right? GBP USD rallied. Let's do this for a second. So we have this rally. I think I'm going to take it up to probably here, right? Now, after that rally, we had a bit of consolidation, right? Of course, this movement is still going to the upside, but it's mainly in a type of consolidation type thing, right? Now, after that rally that we had there, we had the consolidation, and then we had a second rally. Look at how the second rally, the line, I just took this line from here, guys. I took this line from here, and then I'm just moving it to here. Look at how it's almost accurate how the second push or the second rally is equal to the second, from the second box here up until the third box. Look at how it's almost equal to. So if you look at this zone here, basically the low point of this white line and the high point, which is here, right? Look at how we have that rejection almost in the same line as the top of this line, right? What I was talking about is basically what I said before with the euro dollar, that the impulse movements are mainly going to be almost the same size, right? So you've got an impulse correction. The correction on GBP USD was a bit messy, right? So you've got an impulse, then you've got a correction, and then you've got a second impulse again, right, to the upside. And then you've got this sideways movement here, that consolidation right here. And then you've got the third impulse. So what I want to do here is take this line and look at how that third impulse is equal to the first two. It's not perfect. It's not 100% thing, but it's, I think, 98, maybe let's say 95 to 99% accurate on how the impulse moves are basically the same size. And as you can see from that point there, that's where GBP USD started to show the real bearish move, right? So we had this large M structure right here, right, in this large white box, this large M structure, and then we had a very strong downward push. Look at that push, very strong bearish movement. And then we've got, this is what they will normally call maybe your correction, right? I'm not so big on other people's strategies. I'm basically using my own strategies, but basically we've got this impulse, then we've got this whole consolidation in this box here. And then yesterday we had this big bearish move. Look at how the candlesticks in here, right? They're not as big. They're big, yes. This is a 1 hour time frame, by the way. They're not as big, but look at these specific two candlesticks right here. Look at how big they are as compared to the others. Now, this is when you know the market makers are shifting out of this zone. That's why only after these two big candlesticks, we have the market breaking out of this big white box structure. And as you can see, the market is dropping down. So like I said before, I look at whole numbers, right? So the next whole number that I'm looking at here will be the 13800 level, right? Let me just mark it out. We're actually close to the level. Right now, GBP/USD is trading at 1.3809, right? So we're basically 9 pips away from a whole number, right? If I mark it out, let me just add the correct zone, right? So I'm going to put the parameters on 138, 1.38. right? I'm going to add it there. And so basically, it's going to change just now. Okay, what did I do? Let me edit that thing here. Horizontal line, 1.38. Okay, yeah, it's done. Okay, so you see the line is at 138, right? And you can see that the market is going towards the 138 level. So we have, if you see here, there's this thing that's called the ADR low, right? It's at 1.3796, just 4 pips off of that whole number, right? So what I expect is that this movement here, let's try and see if we can get a proper reading on this, right? So we've got that impulse move all the way here, right? Now, what I want to do is, so what I want to actually highlight is that the impulse moves will not always be of the same length. Sometimes you can get level 1 and level 2 in one straight impulse, and that will basically throw you a bit off if you don't know how to calculate the ADR, or if you don't know the ADR of certain pairs, right? So I'm not going to go into that like I said before. So if you look here, I'm looking at this impulse move right here from the top of those candlesticks, right? Let's just try and bring that up a little bit. So what I'm looking at is, this is my entire level 1, and then we've got consolidation, then we've got level 2, and then we might have consolidation somewhere in this box. You see how this box is almost accurate to the impulse that we have. So now what I'm expecting with GBP USD for NFP is that we've had a nice bearish push pre-NFP, right? I'm expecting that NFP will probably be a negative dollar, which will push GBP USD a little bit upward, right? Just to validate, you know, the correction type phase thing. But if you don't know, it'll look like a big buying candlestick, and most of you will probably be buying, of which you might catch a few pips, but I don't expect you to catch that much off of it. And then what will happen after the correction, then we'll continue with the bearish pattern. So I think GBP USD is also still very bearish, but just be careful with NFP. NFP might throw a whole lot of you off, right? When it throws you off, you will lose quite a bit of money, and then you'll have to start from scratch. So I suggest that you don't trade during NFP, okay? Do not trade during NFP. Wait for the movement to happen, because the fast move, which is the news, is mostly false, right? The fast news is mostly false. So let me see. I want to go live with whoever is available to go live. Let's see. We've got 3 requests to go live. We've got Sipiwe86, we've got Manando the Goat, we've got Mark Batisani. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but if I am not, apologies, right? Okay, let's see. We'll go live with him for a little bit if he's still there, and then we will look at a couple of other pairs, right? I don't know if he's still here. If he's not here, it's fine. We'll take somebody else. Okay. Okay, I don't think he's here. Okay, so I'll cancel that. Somebody was asking which pair is this. This is GBP USD that we were looking at, right? Pound dollar, the cable, GBP USD. That's what we were looking at. So I am expecting GBP USD to continue bearish. If you look now, let's switch over to an M15. Right, let me actually go to TradingView. That's a better platform, right? So if you see, we're now hitting the 138 level that I spoke of before. GBP USD is now officially at the 138 level. We're about 4 pips off, right? So that's the 138 level. Look how it's just touching that zone, and basically kind of rejecting off of it. So you have to be very conscious of the levels, okay? You have to be very conscious of whole numbers. If you don't know the market maker method, guys, you can come and learn, right? But off of this 138 level, I am looking at a possible rejection off of this level going into NFP. How many hours do we have before NFP? Right now it's 12:34. We probably have about 3 hours before NFP. Looking at the market, you see right now GBP USD 138.04. Let's look at gold. Gold is at 1692.50. So it's just off of the whole number. Let's look at the euro dollar. Euro dollar is still about 33 pips off of the whole number, so there's still a lot of movement to go down. But as you guys can see that here it's showing red, right? Meaning that we're still very bearish on it. Look at GBPUSD, extremely red. It's a bright red, so we're very bearish on it. Let's look at the sentiment. The dollar is currently at the top. All the other pairs are beneath the dollar. So whatever is against the dollar right now is probably going down, and the dollar is gaining a whole lot of strength, right? So when we now view the market, right, I am looking at a possible, this is not complete trading advice, but I am looking at a possible negative reading on the NFP today that will rally all the other pairs against the dollar, and then we will continue the bearish move, okay? So do not make any trades pre-NFP. I don't think it is safe, right? I don't think it is safe, but should you wish to, then all the best and good luck. I'm going to look at USD ZAR. Let's look at the dollar rand. I actually wanted to buy USD ZAR today, but because it's NFP, I don't want to make any mistakes, right? So I decided to leave that trade, right? I decided to abandon that trade, but I see that now it's actually going up as I expected it to go up. So let me just pull it up right here. So this is the M15 time frame, right? For those of you that do know how to trade the M15 or the market maker, right? Market maker method, you see how we have a push to the 50 EMA, and then we've got a rally above it, above the 13 and the 50. Then we've got another push below the 13 and 50, and then it had a doji, right? We had a doji right there, and then we had another spike, and then we had a bullish candle, and then this is now the buy. So let me go to MT4, and then I'll show you guys what I expect going into NFP on the USD ZAR, right? I know a lot of you love USD ZAR. USD ZAR is a very nice pair to trade, but it's also very dangerous, okay? So looking at USD ZAR here, let's just blow it up a bit. Let's go to the M15. Let's go to the M15, right? Okay. What's happening here? Something is wrong. It's just stuck a little bit. Just give it a second. This is why I like to use TradingView, because MT4 sometimes is very, very slow. Okay, so with the USD ZAR, what I expect today, well, initially what I've been expecting is a continuation on the buy on USD ZAR. This, guys, is USD ZAR. Here you go, USD ZAR, right? What I am expecting on USD ZAR is a push to the upside, right? Let's go to H1 rather. And then I'll go back to TradingView after I show you guys what I want to show you here, right? So I expect USD ZAR to push towards that high, that level there. 15 point, let's just say 15.55, right? I'm expecting USD ZAR to push all the way to 15.55 to the high side. Reason being, I'm still in a bullish market maker trend. Now, if you look here, right, let's do this. Let me change this thing here, and then I'll show you guys why I'm saying this, right? Let's push this back up. So we know that we're looking for a 15.55 TP, right? I'm not saying buy this. You will get hurt if you buy pre-NFP, but I do expect it to push up. Right now we're at 15.3380. I expect it to push to 15.55, around about there, right? So where we started this bullish move is in this region here. Look at this, hit to the low, we rose, hit to the low again, and then we broke above. Now, this was the first level of a bullish move, right? First level, level 1, and then we've got consolidation, right? And then yesterday we had a very big bullish push, level 2, and then now we've got consolidation. What I expect today is possibly, if NFP is going to be bearish dollar, we expect a stop hunt to the low side, and then a bullish push. Let me go to trading view, and then I'll show you guys exactly what I mean, right? So should we have a negative dollar today, as I am expecting, right? Please do not take this as complete trading advice. This is just my own outlook on the market, right? Let's change this line to black. I expect the dollar rand to maybe give us a stop hunt low, and then a rally to around about 15.55, right? If we do not get that, we will just have a straightaway push out of this block here, right? We will have a straight push right outside of this block. If you can see, technically right now, we are sort of breaking above that zone, right? In this area here, we are sort of breaking above, but it's sort of rejecting that higher price, right? So mainly when people see such a move, the breakout traders, right? Now the breakout traders will be validated. Those guys who trade breakouts, they probably got validated already in that zone, and they're probably in their buys. The guys who got, what do you call that thing? Buy stops. Buy stop above the 15.35 or 334 level. You probably got validated already, and now the market is basically retracing back below this zone. So what I expect now is the rand to maybe gain a bit of strength over the dollar going towards NFP. And then if NFP is negative, we will see a nice bearish push maybe down to these lows here. And then we'll see a rally after that going up to possibly 15.55, right? After that, then we will start to see a decline in the dollar rand, and then we'll see that pair generally pushing down. But I expect that probably from next week. So you see those guys who are trading breakouts, they got validated in this area here, and now they're probably in a bit of drawdown. And now this will probably push down and then push back up. So now in the first scenario, if we do have a bearish NFP, we will have the dollar rand pushing to this level and then a possible continuation in the rally. But if we have a if in a bearish NFP, if we have a bullish one, then we'll just break out of this zone clearly, a nice big break up to the 15.55 level, and then we might just see the dollar rand from next week maybe having a small decline or a small movement to the downside, and then we will see when we pick up again. But I'm overall bullish on USD ZAR. Overall bullish on USD ZAR. Okay, this is an M15 time frame. M15 time frame. This is now the H1, right? So now looking at the whole numbers, right, on USD ZAR, we'll start at the 15 level, 1500, 15, right? Hold on, let's do this. Let's look at the 1500 level, 15000. Right, and then we'll put that line there. So look at how it had a nice bounce right off of the 1500. Look at that, a nice bounce off of the 1500, and then we had a nice rally. But the movement is actually coming from here. So now to validate a couple of strategies, you will see that there is a W formation, right, the peak formation, and then we had a breakout above the 1500 level, and this is a breakout. Now we have the retest, and then a continuation. So in my book, this is the W formation, the peak formation. We've got a rally, then we've got consolidation or the correction, so to speak, and then we've got a push in the next rally, and then now we've got our secondary consolidation, and then I expect what? A third push to the upside, which will mean that USD ZAR, we could see it continuing on the buy as well, okay? So I do expect a small pullback and then a possible buy going to the upside. But if we do not get that, we will have a straightaway push to the upside, right? So those are two scenarios. The reason why I'm giving you guys two scenarios is because a lot of people, when you give a certain movement or a certain reason or a possible trade, they normally take that trade and then they lose money and then they think that it was wrong only to find out that later on it's probably correct. So right now, what I want to do is I want to go live with anybody who's willing to go live. Let's see. We've got, let's go with Sipiwe. Let's see if you're still around. Happy birthday. And then I'll take some questions from all of you. If you guys have any questions, not about a certain currency, but if you have any random questions that you want to ask regarding the market, then you're free to answer. Okay, hi, how's it? Hello? Okay, Sipiwe left. I don't know what happened. Okay, let's go to Mark. Mark, are you still around? Mark, are you still around? How's it?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, 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 good. What's up? How's the market?
Yeah, the name is Mark Batisani.
Batisani, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, no, I was just listening to you, even though it's a confusing scenario for me because I'm just new in this trade.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
understand.
just listening. But we just want to say congratulations for pushing.
Sorry?
Let me know so that those who know what they're talking about can have time to talk to you. And
it's okay. If you have a question, any question that you want to ask is cool. It doesn't necessarily have to be about any pair. If you want to ask something in general knowledge, you're more than welcome to ask.
yeah, but that cap actually suits you. It looks nice.
Okay, I don't know if it's my network or Mark's network, but you seem to be off right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Mark, are you still there?
Sharp. Yeah, I think it was the network issues, but it's okay. Thank you so much for the lessons. I just appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, Mark. We had Mark just there. Does anybody want to go live to ask a certain question? Or if you have any questions, please do type them out. Type out your question. Let me just go through the comment section and let's see what we have here. Let's see who's still here. Who wants to go live? If you want to go live, please just click the request button and then we're gonna go live. Let's see. First, Jonathan, the pattern. You know the pattern. We only look for the patterns. If gold is on the lowest point and Euro USD is at the lowest point, we are buying. Possibly Squatza FX. If they're both at the low point, we're possibly going to buy, yes. But remember, we're trading a very rigged market. Look, let me just explain to you guys how the Forex market is, right? Let's say we're playing a game. Let's say we're playing, I need a board game. Let's say we're playing chess, right? So if you don't know how to play chess, I'm sorry, but that's the game I'm going to use. Let's say we're playing chess and I created the chess game, right? If I am the original creator of the chess game and I teach it to maybe you, one of you, right? And then I teach you everything that you know, right? True or false, I will be able to beat you every single time at the game. It's true. I will be able to beat you every single time because I created the game. I have all the rules, and if I teach you how to play it, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to teach you everything about the game. I'm not going to give you an edge or an advantage over me since I'm the one who created the game, right? So meaning I'm going to withhold some information. Now, to put that into a Forex context, the market makers have the entire market in their hands, right? They control the market. Now, everything that you see for free online, like on YouTube, or everything that you see online, like on YouTube or on Google, that's free, is primarily designed to make you lose, okay? It's primarily designed to make you lose because they have not revealed every single thing about the market in those free PDFs, in those free videos. And if you notice that all the strategies that you have probably used to this day have made you lose money, right? You've probably been losing money on moving average crossovers, on support and resistance. Your stop loss gets hit and then the market moves your direction. Your stop loss gets hit, the market moves your direction. If there's anybody who's experienced that, you are free to type in that you have experienced it. Just say, yes, I've seen that. Your stop loss gets hit, the market moves. Stop loss gets hit, the market moves. And you think to yourself, I was right, I just had a tight stop loss. And then next thing, you increase your stop loss, they still hit it, and they probably are going the completely different direction, right? Now, somebody says, please, can you teach how to analyze using the charts? Okay, so if I have to start teaching you how I look at the charts, it's going to take a long time. So unfortunately, I will not be able to do that in this live. If you want that, you will have to join my mentorship program. If you want details on that, you're free to contact me on Instagram or contact me on WhatsApp, or yeah, send me a message on Instagram, give me a call, and then we'll discuss how the mentorship goes. If you want signals, also do contact me. Currently, my signals are going at 600 Rand per month. For 30-day signals, you will get about 1 to 5 signals per day, right? With a possible 85 to 95% accuracy, okay? But I want to notify everybody watching that all my prices for mentorship and signals will be going up from the 1st of April, because the current prices that I have been running for about 1 to 2 years unchanged. So it is time for us to increase. So the price of signals will be going up from the 1st of April. The price of mentorship will also be going up from the 1st of April. I've got mentorship for NASDAQ, mentorship for currencies, okay? And then there's also mentorship for V75 if you are interested in that. So if you want to know about the prices and stuff, please do send me a message, contact me here on Instagram, or contact me on WhatsApp. If you want my number, go to my profile, you will see it in my bio. Okay, let's see what we have here before I sign off. I'm going to do some hectic market analysis. I will probably post a couple of things here on Instagram on my story, so just keep checking out my story. And just to give you guys a little heads up, I will start doing live YouTube trades, live analysis and trades on YouTube, right? That's just a spoiler alert. I didn't want to give out that information, but I will be. So my page will be going up pretty soon. I'll be doing live London and New York trades on YouTube. So you are more than welcome to look out for my page when I do post it. Look out for the page and subscribe and join, and then we'll be trading together live. You will be able to ask questions while I'm trading. You will be able to communicate with me, and then we'll just take trades together, right? Okay, so let's see. Can you show a simple strategy beginners can use? Let me be honest with you. Like I said, the market is rigged, right? So there is no simple strategy that I can give you that will give you an edge over the market. There is no simple strategy because the market is complex. The market maker movement is complex. If you want to learn, please do come to me and I will teach you. But there is no simple strategy that will give you an edge over the market. You need to know who controls the market, how they control the market, when they control the market, and to what extent do they control the market, right? Because everybody has a limit somewhere, and so does the market makers. Look at USD ZAR. As I said, that it will probably push up, right? If they do break out the zone, but pre-NFP, we do not want to take any buys on USD ZAR. I would rather prefer a stop hunt to the downside and then a rally. But if that does not happen, it means that the market makers have something else in mind, and then they will just push up to the 15.55 level, which is right here. So you guys can watch out for that 15.55, right? I will mark that out. Let's do this. 15.55 will be around about this area here. So do watch out for this level on USD ZAR. I'm not saying that when we get to this zone, we will be selling USD ZAR. No, please do not get me wrong. That will be very incorrect information. But what I'm saying is that I expect USD ZAR to at least go there today, or maybe even from up until maybe Wednesday next week. But definitely we will hit 15.55. And please feel free to update me once we hit that zone. And if you have taken any trade, feel free to post it on my send it to me, and then I'll post it on my story and wherever, so that at least people know that you were able to kill the market, right? So 15.55 is where I'm expecting USD ZAR to go to. Okay. Okay, let me go back to the comment section before I log out. It's almost been an hour since I started this live. It's now 12:54, so now I need to prepare for NFP. Okay, so let's see. Please advise which strategy is better between news trading, technical trading, or just trading indices like NASDAQ. Do you think trading news only is a good idea? Okay, so look, trading the news is a good idea if you know how to trade the news, because you get very volatile movements very quickly. So meaning you can make anything from 30 to 100 pips in less than 15 minutes. Right, normally it'll take you a couple of hours to hit like 100 pip move, but with the news you can get there in a matter of minutes. Sometimes, I know a couple of weeks back we saw GBP USD hit 140 pips in about 2 hours, right? And that was because of news. And if you actually know what happened there, that was them restarting the movement. Let's go to GBP USD. Let me see if I can find that point where they had a very big rally. I want to show you guys something actually. So you see how I told you guys about the 138 level. You see that dotted line, the 138. Look how they hit below it and then they came right back above the 138 level. So just to show you how these levels are operating and how they operate on these levels. Look, I drew this level like what, 20 minutes ago, and I told you guys this is a whole number. Look at how they hit the level and they quickly go back right above. And the hour is almost over. As you can see, the time right now is 12:55. And look at how they hit that zone with this 1 hour candle and then they fail to close below. So for them to fail to close below, I think that we might see a nice rally on GBP USD, maybe during NFP or right after NFP, and then we will see a continuation maybe next week of the selling pressure, because I still believe that GBP USD is still going to go down. Feel free to keep updating me on what you see or hold me to my word, but I do think GBP USD is still selling, okay? So going back to the question by Kliniso Mashaba, asking about, is it good to trade news? I would say if you know how to trade the news, right? I would say trade the news, because you will get like close to 50 to 100 pips in a few minutes time. But if you don't know how to trade the news, then stay away. Rather trade after the news has happened. Right? I know most people say, no, don't trade the news. That's because they want you to be safe with your investment. But for me, trading the market maker method, I mostly have an idea of where the news is going to go. That's why today I'm expecting a negative dollar, right? Pre-NFP or during NFP, and then we will see the dollar picking up on its strength again, okay? So we probably will see the dollar continuing to be strong going into next week, maybe even throughout the month, but I still expect GBP USD, Euro USD to continue selling. Even gold can possibly still sell below the pre-COVID level, which was, I think it was 1760. Let me just go back to gold. 1790, I think, because the last time we were at this point on gold was last year, January, before COVID started, right? So this is where we are currently. I do expect a nice bullish candle to close right above maybe the 1700 level, right? 1700. I expect a nice bullish candle to close above this zone. If we do get a close above 1700, I will probably be a buyer of gold from today if I do get that. If I don't get that, it's not a train smash. We will see the market again probably next week, right? Okay, so, and then trading indices like NASDAQ. NASDAQ is very volatile. I know a lot of you have blown accounts because of NASDAQ, right? Sorry about that, but NASDAQ is very volatile. You need to know what you're doing. And to trade NASDAQ nicely, you probably need an account with 3,000 Rand and above, right? Trading below that, you're probably risking way more than you have to. So just be careful on that one. Let's see, what do we have? Can you analyze USD JPY? Okay, USD JPY, I'm not a fan of it. I normally don't trade it, but for you guys, I will have a look at it. USD JPY, let's see. Wow, we have a nice rally on USD JPY. I mean, look at that. This is just crazy. I don't even know what it looks like because I don't really look at USD JPY. I mean, look at this movement. It's crazy, but I'm going to try and break it down for you guys. So we've got a peak formation here, right? Peak formation, and then we've got the rally to the upside, level 1. Then we've got a possible consolidation right here for going into level 2, and then we've got a breakout going into level 2, right? And basically where I see a possible level 3 movement was in this region here, right? So I think that USD JPY needs to start selling at some point, probably from today, but right now I don't see a clear pattern, right? But look at that, we've got the first rally, right? Market maker cycle, first rally, consolidation, second rally, consolidation, and now we've got the third rally, of which in my book, it means that we will start to see a decline in the dollar yen. So let me just go to an M15 chart and show you what I expect you guys to look for when eventually we get to a point where we can start selling USD JPY. So right now, the dollar yen is still very bullish, right? So expect to see something like this, maybe a second push down, a push up, and then we will have a nice sharp decline, right? Sometimes this second leg up here could possibly go a little bit above, right? It'll probably go a little bit above, right? Because the market makers don't want it to be easy for you. They don't want you to see what they're doing. They're going to conceal the movements, right? They don't want you to see what they're doing. So you'll probably see something like that. I'm not saying it's going to go up to these levels. This is just a general drawing, right? But I do expect the dollar yen to start selling at some point. Possibly even if it makes that M structure right down here where the market is. But do not trade and sell it before you see them close below here. If they don't do something like this, they need to close below the 13 EMA, cross back above it, right? They'll cross back above the 13 EMA and then close back below the 13 EMA. That is when you will sell USD JPY. At this point, please do not sell it. It's not ready yet. If you want me to confirm when it's ready, please keep in touch with me. Text me on Telegram, Instagram, or on WhatsApp. And then I will basically update you on when I think it's ready to sell. All right. So let's see. What else do we have? Who else do we have here? Keep up the good work, Abuti. We have been working together for about 2 months, and I can confirm you know what you're doing. Thanks a lot. Thank you so man. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for being on the journey with me. So this is one of the guys who's actually on my signals group. I hope you've been making some steady gains and steady profits, and we're still going to make a whole lot more money. I'm working on new strategies, right? I'm working on better strategies to improve the way I trade. So lately, it's been a bit rocky, but we've been able to catch a couple of pips a day. Here's one piece of advice that I can give to a lot of new traders, right? When you are trading, please do not aim to take 100 pips out of the market every single day. Let me tell you what you can aim for. Aim for 20 pips a day, right? Aim for just 20 pips a day. If you aim for 20 pips a day, and that means you're getting 100 pips a week, and per month you're getting about 400 pips a month, right? Because we've got about 20 trading days per month, right? So it looks like you're getting about 400 pips. Now, 400 pips, if you look at 0.01, 400 pips will give you about $40, right? $40 is about 700 Rand. That's about a month profit on 0.01 by getting 400 pips. If you're trading 0.10 or 0.10, that's about $400 on your 400 pips, right? So you're looking at about 6,000, 7,000 Rand monthly. If you are trading one lot, right, you're looking at $4,000 per month on your 400 pip invest. If you get 400 pips out of the market consistently, then $4,000, you're looking at 60 to 70,000 Rand, right? Simple as that. So it's all about the lot size that you're trading, but just take 20 pips out of the market. You don't need to take 100 pips. If you are consistent in taking 20 pips every single day, you only look for a trade that will give you 20 pips, and you do that consistently, I promise you by the end of the year, you could be trading well over 5 to 10 lots. Trust me, this has been proven. This has been done before. You can be trading well over 5 lots. Now, 5 lots is basically what, $50 per pip, and if you're getting 20 pips, you're looking at what, $1,000 per trade. Trading on 5 lots, you're looking at $1,000 per trade. $1,000 is about 14, 15,000 Rand. So it looks like every day you could be making 14 to 15,000 Rand. But that's a journey that you need to be very serious on. You need to be consistent in taking only 20 pips. Don't be greedy. Once you're greedy, you start to lose money. Trust me. I think even if I ask every single one of you on this live, if it went well when you were greedy, you'll probably tell me no. And this whole thing of stacking up trades, like having 10 trades on one account, and then you think you're going to make money like the rest of the Instagram traders, trust me, you are going to get hurt. You only need to take one trade and get your 20 pips per trade, and you're done for the day. You probably will work for about an hour or two if you know what you're doing. So if you want to know how to do this successfully and consistently, do contact me. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of I want to show you guys something regarding how to turn 50 USD into $11,000 in 1 month just by taking 20 pips off the market, right? Let me just look for this picture real quick. If I can find it, I will show it to you guys. If I cannot find it now, then I will not be showing it, unfortunately. I'll post it somewhere, or I'll probably go live again and you guys will be able to see it. Okay, I don't really see it here. I don't know why. But okay, so basically it's how to turn $50 into $11,000 in 1 month by taking only 20 pips from the market. You need about 30 trades to do this, and it's very possible. So if you guys want more insight on that, please do contact me and we will discuss it. But for now, guys, thank you so much for joining the live. It's unfortunate we didn't get a lot more people on live, right? But I trust that next time we will. I will be posting soon more analysis on my page, much rather than results, right? I'll be posting analysis, so you guys stay tuned. Also invite your friends to come follow my page for trading advice and possible trade movements. And very soon the YouTube channel will be up, where we'll be trading live during London and New York, right? During London and New York, those are the only 2 sessions that I trade. If you don't know about trading sessions, that's another thing that you need to know in order for you to become successful in this game. But for now, guys, I'm going to sign out. I'm exhausted of talking, right? I hope that you guys will be very careful with NFP. Do not take any random trades. Take only what has been confirmed according to your strategy. If you want to know more about my strategy, please do contact me. But for now, I'm going to sign out. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Much love and God bless.